बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज की वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं यूनिट नंबर 3 के शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चंस को, और नाम है इस चैप्टर का द नेकलेस, जो कि लिखा है गे डे मुपसान। लेट्स स्टार्ट द वीडियो। दीज आर द शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस दैट वी हैव टू डिस्कस। आप वीडियो को पॉज करके देख सकते हैं क्वेश्चंस, और लिख भी सकते हैं। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द वीडियो। बट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द वीडियो, अगर आप ये चाहते हैं कि आप तमाम तरह प्रोज सेक्शन के एमसीक्यूज को जो है देख सकें, उसकी प्लेलिस्ट को, तो आपकी स्क्रीन के टॉप राइट पे जो आई बटन मौजूद है, आप उसे क्लिक करके तमाम तरह चैप्टर्स के एमसीक्यूज देख सकते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है, व्हाई डिड मिस्टर लोइसेल एक्सपेक्ट हिज वाइफ टू बी प्लीज्ड टू रिसीव द इनविटेशन? इसका जवाब है, मिसल was Mr. Loisel's wife. She was a pretty, charming, and middle class girl. She was born and married in a modest family and always daydreamed about being rich. She remained unhappy because she couldn't afford fine clothes and could not attend grand parties given and attended by the elite of the city. He wanted to see her wife happy. They got the invitation to attend a grand party at the ministerial mansion, and the most important people would be there. Question number 2 है, what was Ma'am Loisel's reaction on reading the invitation? इसका जवाब है, Ma'am Loisel opened the invitation excitedly but tossed it aside, saying there was nothing good for her. She got emotional because she thought that she had no proper dress to wear. She burst into tears, thinking of her fate, and then told her husband that she did not have any party dress and couldn't go. Her husband got surprised and sad to see her wife crying for not having extravagant dress. अगर आप ये चाहते हैं कि तमाम तरह पोएम के एमसीक्यूज आप देख सकें, प्रैक्टिस कर सकें और सुन सकें, तो आपके स्क्रीन के टॉप राइट पे जो आई बटन है, उसमें तमाम पोएम्स के एमसीक्यूज का जो है लिंक मौजूद है, प्लेलिस्ट है, वो उसे क्लिक करके आप सुन सकते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, हाउ वाज द लाइफ ऑफ मैम लोइसेल बिफोर द लॉस ऑफ द नेकलेस? इसका जवाब है, मैम लोइसेल वाज लीडिंग अ हैप्पी लाइफ बिफोर द लॉस ऑफ द नेकलेस, बट हर अनग्रेटफुल बिहेवियर caused miseries in her felicity. She had made for all home chores. She was leading a less strenuous life, though not very extravagant. In order to buy another necklace that she could return her friend, she borrowed so much loan. It took her 10 years to return her debts, for which she had to do every home chore herself, and the peace of life was almost vanished. Question number 4 है, what efforts were made to find Ma'am Forestier's necklace? इसे इंग्लिश में पढ़ेंगे तो फॉरेस्टियर पढ़ेंगे, और अगर इसकी फ्रेंच प्रोनाउंसिएशन देखी जाए तो फॉरेस्टियर होगा ये, ठीक है। इसका जवाब है, Ma'am Loisel got extremely worried and depressed when she came to know that the borrowed necklace is missing. They searched throughout the apartment first, but in vain. Then her husband retraced their steps, searching for hours the same night, and could not find the necklace. Next morning, he came back around 7 o'clock. He had no luck but disappointment. Question number 5 है, describe in your own words how the Loisel's life changed after they had paid for the new necklace. तो इसका जवाब है, Loisel's life changed considerably after they had paid for the new necklace. Before the mishap of the necklace, they had so much felicity in her life, but everything destroyed. Mrs. Loisel cooked, scrubbed the laundry, took out garbage, carried up water, and dressed like peasants. She bargained for food with the fruit dealer, the grocer, the butcher, and they insulted her. Mr. Loisel worked evenings a bookkeeper, and at night he copied documents. अगर आप ये चाहते हैं कि जो पोएम्स हैं सारी, उसके शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चंस आप देख सकें तमाम तरह पोएम्स के, तो उसकी प्लेलिस्ट का लिंक आपके स्क्रीन के टॉप राइट पे शो हो रहा है आई बटन में, वो क्लिक करके आप देख सकते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 है, व्हाट वाज मैम फॉरेस्टियर reaction when seeing Ma'am Loisel before she figured out who she was. Having rid of all debts and having led a pathetic life, Ma'am Loisel grew old. She went for a walk one day. She saw a woman strolling with a child. It was Ma'am Forestier. She still looked young and beautiful. Ma'am Loisel went towards her friend, and greeted her. To Ma'am Forestier, she looked so much old that she did not recognize her at first and exclaimed that Matilde looked so much changed. Question number 7 है, how did Mr. and Ma'am Loisel replace the necklace? इसका जवाब है, when the Loisels realized that the necklace went missing, they left no stone unturned. No stone unturned का मतलब होता है कि उन्होंने कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी to locate the lost jewel, but couldn't find it. Eventually, they decided to buy a fresh and new identical necklace to replace the lost one. Mr. Loisel possessed 18,000 francs of his inheritance and borrowed the rest of the money from money lenders and others. Then the couple went to the merchant and bought the necklace for 36,000 francs and returned it to Ma'am Forestier. Question number 8 है, what was Ma'am Forestier's reaction when the necklace was returned? Ma'am Forestier was a rich and kind lady and a good friend of Mrs. Loisel. She lets her take the necklace she wanted, but Mrs. Loisel lost the necklace unfortunately. Loisel took so much time in arranging the amount, buying the necklace and returning it. When they returned it, she got a little annoyed. She told her coldly that she should have returned it sooner. She might have needed it. How did Mr. Loisel contribute to the cost of the new necklace? तो ये है Matilde's husband, यहाँ पे Matilda लिखा हुआ है. Matilde's husband, Monsieur Loisel, was an ordinary, simple-hearted, young, loving, and caring husband. He was a small clerk in the office of the Board of Education, but he was contented with his job. Therefore, he contributed 18,000 francs of his inheritance and borrowed the rest of the money from money lenders and others. He also did extra job to pay the debts. He worked evenings a bookkeeper, and at night he copied documents. अगर आप ये चाहते हैं कि जो प्ले है हमारा विजिट टू अ स्मॉल प्लैनेट उसके एमसीक्यूज आप देख सकें तो स्क्रीन के टॉप राइट पाई बटन है उसे क्लिक करके आप सुन सकते हैं. मैम लोइसेल, क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 है, हाउ डिड मैम लोइसेल sacrifice been in vain? Ma'am Loisel sacrificed almost everything to pay the debt, but all this had been in vain. She let her maid go, did all home chores herself. She worked so hard that she began to look old. When she met Ma'am Forestier, after 10 years of working hard and having ridden off all debts, she told her that necklace was not a real diamond necklace, but a replica which costed only 500 francs. Ma'am Loisel must have been shocked to know this. Had she known this earlier, her life would have been easier and carefree. Question number 11 है, what kind of a person is Ma'am Loisel? Why is she always unhappy? तो यहाँ पे लिखा है मैम लोइसेल के बारे में ही लिखा है जिनका नाम मेथिल्ड भी है. Matilde Loisel was a young and pretty woman who led a simple yet unhappy life. She came from a poor family but always dreamt of riches and luxuries of life. She was always unhappy as she knew her dreams could never be fulfilled. She was aware that her meager resources were not enough to satisfy her expensive desires, and all this made her unhappy and angry on her conditions. Her ungrateful attitude caused miseries in her life. अगर आप ये चाहते हैं कि आप पैसेज कॉम्प्रिहेंशन को कैसे डील करना है परफेक्टली और जान सकें तमाम तरह टिप्स को, तो आपके स्क्रीन के टॉप राइट पर जो लिंक मौजूद है उसके अंदर आप जाकर देख सकते हैं तमाम तरह डिटेल्स को. क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 है, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन इज हर हस्बैंड? Matilda's husband, तो यहाँ पे अगेन Matilda लिखा हुआ है. Matilda is the actual name in story. हमारे पास बुक में Matilda लिखा हुआ है. बहरहाल Matilda's husband, Monsieur Loisel, was an ordinary and simple-hearted young man and loving and caring husband. He was a small clerk in the office of the Board of Education, but he was contented with his job. With great excitement, he brought a dinner invitation of a grand party for his wife. However, poor he might be, he was a caring husband as he gave 400 francs to his dear wife to buy a pretty dress for the party. Question number 13 है माफ कीजिएगा. What new problem disturbed Ma'am Loisel after buying the dress? After spending 400 francs and buying a beautiful dress, Ma'am Loisel was bothered by yet another fresh problem. She brooded over the fact that she did not have a beautiful jewel to pair with her pretty dress. Hearing this, her husband suggested her to wear some natural flowers as jewelry, but she refused, stating that there was nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby air in the midst of rich women. Question number 14 है, how was the problem of jewelry solved? तो इसका जवाब है, Ma'am Loisel's husband, Monsieur Loisel, initially suggested her to wear some natural flowers as jewelry, but she refused the idea. Then he advised her to request and borrow some jewels from her rich friend, Ma'am Forestier. Matilde uttered a cry of joy as she liked this wonderful idea. The next day, she took herself to her friend's house and picked a superb necklace of diamonds that matched with her beautiful attire. Hence, her husband's family suggestion solved her problem. Question number 15 है, the course of Loisel's life changed due to the necklace comment. Loisel's life took a major turn due to the necklace. It took them 10 years to repay the debt that they had borrowed to buy the necklace. Their life turned upside down and everything changed for them. They changed their lodging and sent away the maid. Matilde did all the home chores and bargained with the grocer and the butcher to save every single sou. The couple led a miserable life to repay the frightful debt for buying the expensive jewel. Question number 16 है, what was the cause of Matilde's ruin? How could she have avoided it? Matilde's materialistic aspirations and dissatisfaction was the actual cause of her ruin. She was always unhappy about her financial status and wished to gain riches and luxuries of life. She could have easily avoided her ruin by being grateful to God and by being content with her simple life with her loving husband. She was leading a happy but peaceful life where she was comfortable and she had a maid for her home chores. Last question is, what would have happened to Matilde if she had confessed to her friend that she had lost her necklace? Had Matilde courageously confessed to her friend about the loss of the necklace, she could have saved herself from miseries. Her friend would have certainly got angry, but at least she would have come to know that it was a fake necklace that costed 500 francs only. She had to spend her husband's entire inheritance and borrowed 18,000 francs to buy a replacement of the lost necklace. Besides, she could have saved herself and her husband from 10 long years of suffering, misery, crushing poverty. Hopefully ये वीडियो आपके लिए हेल्पफुल रहा होगा. अगर हुआ है साबित ये हेल्पफुल तो प्लीज इसे शेयर करें अपने दोस्तों के साथ और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें. इंशाल्लाह ताला मुलाकात होगी फिर किसी वीडियो में. तब तक अपना ख्याल रखें, मुझे दुआ में याद रखें. अस्सलामु अलैकुम, अल्लाह हाफिज.